Oh boy, you can't give up a steal here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, nice shot from Caitlin.
Here we go, it's happening.
Yeah, draw for the win for Ryland Kleider. Needs a piece of the forefoot. He's been really good all game. Trevor Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they
Line's
like
good.
line. Now doesn't have the speed. They like the line, doesn't have the speed. They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
A long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Where your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
You conquered another game. A long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Where your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
It has happened where people just haven't noticed and they've run out of time. I'm like, sounds good. Oh, overcooked it a bit. Jeez. Clean! Keep going, Edin! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Minus 1,000 flash will win Apres curl.
Oh, they're really sweeping this, boys. They're
Look at this,
really
this is a good one.
sweeping this. Oh, boy, you can't give up a steal here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, nice shot from Caitlin.
Here we go, it's happening.
Yeah, draw for the win for Rylan Kleider. Needs a piece of the forefoot. He's been really good all game. Trevor Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yep for line ever.
No, they
Line's
like
good.
line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Rylan Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
A long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Wear your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of throwing and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Wear your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of throwing and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line. It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
It has happened where people just haven't noticed when they've run out of time. I'm like, sounds good.
overcooked it a bit.
Jeez. Clean! Keep going, Edin! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Minus 1,000 flash will win apres curl.
Oh, they're really sweeping this, boys. They're
Okay, this is a
really
good one.
sweeping this. Oh, boy, you can't give up a steal here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, nice shot from Caitlin.
So here we go, it's happening.
Yeah, draw for the win for Rylan Kleider. Needs a piece of the forefoot. He's been really good all game. Trevor Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Rylan Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
A long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Wear your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call. Wear your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
last run.
Yep.
8 Finn.
Whoa.
From the tie
Yep.
to Isabella
Inside the Mary Brown Center here in St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Brent Lang, joined today again by Mike McEwen, and we're going to bring you a men's game action. We've got two of the best teams in the world over the last number of years. We've got Team Mouat, currently the #1 ranked team in the world, versus Team Edin, who, by Nick's own admission last night, says they're not playing their best. They've actually fallen all the way to 9th in the world, which for most teams, that's pretty good. For them, not quite normal. So we'll see. Their backs are against the wall. They need a win to have any chance. A loss here for Team Edin, and they will be out of the playoff round. On the flip side, Team Mouat, 2-1, needing a win to guarantee a playoff spot. A loss would drop them into a potential tiebreaker, and then they'd need to rely on their last stone draw. So we're going to bring you all the action from that game. We do have a full lineup here, 2 ladies games, 2 men's games. And Mike, I guess to lead it off, how does it feel to be the most hated man in St. John's, Newfoundland?
The building last night was electric, and that, you know what, I think we absorbed it the right way. We went in. This is an opportunity to feel, to feel the crowd in a different way, even though they're against you, and I think we embraced it because that's a moment that can maybe pay off down the line. And we added a little tension in there. I loved how our team responded to that. We had a little fun with it, came in as the bad boys, and still able to perform. So that was a fun opportunity, and I'm really happy we got to do that. And obviously Brad's team was in on it, and it was fun to create that atmosphere.
Yeah, and the fans didn't really embrace the bad boys. They were kind of nice to you. But
yeah.
I wonder if
I think bad boys is pretty tough for us to pull off.
If you end up playing against Brad maybe on the weekend in the playoffs, they might see you more as bad boys now that you beat their good boys.
Yeah, we just had to set the storyline a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was electric in here, as you said. It was maybe the most fun draw I've been a part of to witness at a Grand Slam. I mean, the place was rocking. Johnny Mouat was hosting a kitchen party in the concourse, and everything was rocking. The crowd went quieter than maybe they wanted to be as you won the draw to the button and then kind of controlled the game early with some blanks. Even got some boos after the 3rd blank, which was awesome.
And then a Grand Slam rule change heading into Guelph.
Potentially. The McEwen rule, I think they're going to call it. If you blank more than 2 ends in a row, you lose the hammer. So that's a big change to strategy. I mean, the curling group is not afraid of change. If it works, they'll keep it. If it doesn't work, they'll just toss it out. But I think Nick was serious on Twitter last night. I think that's
so.
A done deal. I've heard some other interesting ideas for how to set the pools, which, again, I'm not at liberty to discuss, but probably Nick will send out on Twitter today. So, yeah, let's have a look at the lineups here. First up from Sweden, Team Edin. We'll have a look, and if you've watched any curling over the last number of years, as Team Kerry has a dance party on the Jumbotron, then you're very familiar with Team Edin. They are the reigning Olympic gold medalists, as far as I know. Is that correct, Mike?
That is correct.
They beat, I think, the guys standing next to them in Team Mouat. So Team Mouat, Olympic silver medalist. Nick, 7-time world champion. I had to confirm that with him yesterday, because between Johnny Moe and I, we couldn't figure it out. There was too many to count. More than anybody else in history, which is pretty incredible. I don't know if he's got the most appearances at the Worlds as well. Probably hasn't caught Igor Ramsfell yet, because I think he was like 21 or something crazy.
Nick's on that trajectory.
If he keeps playing and stops getting injured, he said this summer he blew out a bicep. I'm like, well, at least it wasn't your back for the 24th time. And he said, true, but He's into tons of other sports. He loves running. He loves tennis. Billiards. You can't get injured playing pool, can you? Only your, a hangover, I guess. But anyway, we got top drawer action here. Looks like Team Edin did win the last stone draw, so they'll have last rock in the first end, which, Mike, how important is the hammer in the first end against the best of the best? I mean, this is the best of the best. The top four or five teams in the world are maybe a different even level, and right now Mouat's in a league of his own, judging by his record. So how important is it for Nick to have the hammer here?
Yeah, I haven't seen the stats package roll out for this season, but it is a high margin for the team with hammer, especially at least from what I've heard on the men's side. I'm not sure if the ladies plays out as dramatic a spread, but that would be interesting to look at. Is it just the best teams are getting hammer most of the time that's skewing those odds? Obviously, we've got two of the very best here, so dead even heat to get the hammer, I think, most times. But this is big for Nick and the boys to control the tempo of the game because of the high level that Mouat has been playing. We haven't seen them quite at that this week, though.
No, and I almost got excited when they had the scoreboard wrong yesterday. Not that I was excited. I don't cheer against anybody, but I called Bruce and the boys human because they gave up a steal of 3 to Dunstone, but it was a scoreboard error. It was actually a 3 for the guys from Scotland. So we're underway here, and Hammy Jr. on his profile, Mike, all it says is Hammy Jr. I like it. He's heading for just Hammy, like Madonna. That's his. I think that might be his secret goal.
He's going to be down to one single name. I like that.
Exactly. So makes no
one
mistake.
Name and one turn.
Yeah, well, you only need one turn when it's world class at lead. That's what Benny used to say. So Nick going straight for the come around, and I would agree with you though. Team Mouat it's hard to stay at the level they were at the first 2 slams, which was near perfection. It's hard to stay there long term. Not that they're playing poorly this week by any means. They lost a tough one to John Schuster. Made a fantastic in-off to beat them, which we looked at yesterday. And I haven't talked to Bruce and the guys, but I think there was an out-turn draw he could have played. I wonder if the conditions were such that it was too hard to play, where I think if Bruce makes it on his last, John maybe doesn't have that shot, but hindsight's pretty easy.
Yeah, it would have been tough for Bruce to get much more of the button than he already had. But yeah, certainly a difficult shot, and John did have 2 different shots for the win.
Yeah.
So Bruce electing to take one or the other away was definitely not a wrong call. John was going to have a really tough shot for the win regardless.
I almost feel like when they have 2 shots, you should throw it into the boards. Because when they say, I'm going to guard
create
this
some indecision.
One, yeah, and then they're like, oh, well, I have to play this. And you force them to play a shot, and it's like, there's no question, there's no thought, there's no second guessing.
Yeah, we do talk about that when, trying to force a steal, and like you just mentioned, if you can create any indecision, that's what you're looking for as a team trying to steal. So let's I'll see if that comes up during the season. That's an interesting take.
It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. I'm kind of joking, but not really.
Yeah.
So Nick trying to play the freeze all the way back there. Interesting. Had a great conversation with Nick. It felt more like a podcast than...
did that ever? I listened.
Than commentating last night, because he's just such a bit of a mad scientist and has spent, I think, more time studying the game maybe than anybody.
I listened to him, honestly, if anyone has a chance to go back and hear that about Nick talking about long events, and he just put it so eloquently why maybe their results in some of the long events, what it would be like in a Briar versus slams. Like, it was just so fascinating to actually hear it.
He's in Cat for sure, and he's committed basically his life to the game, and his results show it. So Bobby Lammy there making a decent freeze. Tough for Nick to lie to here, and everything's getting closer to the back of the button here, Mike. And
that might have been that conversation with John Cullen, and then you had another conversation with Nick about some other...
I think so, yeah.
Just fascinating guy to listen to. Yeah, if anyone gets a chance, those are, when Nick's on the mic, those are some really good like you said, almost podcast level.
Yeah, you had to be careful when I asked him questions because, you know, he's just so passionate about it and has so much information to share. It's like, oh shit, what happened that last time? I didn't see a shot. Good looking shot here from Rasmus. Maybe bump that into the open and set up a double on the other side. And the danger is the freezes are getting a lot closer to the button if you're Team Edin here. And I wouldn't say this is a standard first end. A couple of kind of
everything behind the tee.
Yeah. I don't know who this favors yet. I don't think this is terrible yet for Bruce and the Scottish squad, but it's also not that dangerous yet for Nick.
No, I think the guard height is just high enough that you should be able to cut a chase and tap just about anything. If it was, say, a little bit tighter on the maple leaf of the KIOTI, it would, you know, we're starting to get extremely difficult to chase things.
Probably a little light there, but does get shot rock. If the freeze is made now.
I mean, I love the aggression here. This is the opposite of what we did last night.
Every team's got a game plan based on situation, based on strengths of the team and comfort level and all those things. So that was interesting to hear Nick talk about even odd ends and everybody deals with it. And sometimes, and we'll see if he does it today, if he has hammer in a tight game in the odd ends, especially 5 or 7, he says rather than going for the blank, he knows the other team's going to maybe take some extra risk to force him, and he says quite often they'll take the easy goose, and that's when they most often get 3. Is up 1 without playing 7. The other team really wants to force, and this one looks a little short from Rasmus. Nick had said, even if we bump it a bit, now that red one's pretty tough to remove, but it's definitely not comfortable to guard for Bruce. I think they got to go around to the button.
As we're looking at it from this angle, can't quite tell how much of that yellow is buried around the center guard. Whether that's accessible for Nick to use is pretty important. If that's around too much, that's kind of, it's almost like another guard for Bruce.
Looks like our stream might be Jacob's return as that's the one on Sportsnet.
We got to get her
another good game. I don't mind watching it.
We got to get our screen flipped over.
Trust us, our game's pretty good too. So drawn right to the button. Grant Hardy in the first end here, being asked to be super precise and
trying to go back
heavy.
button.
Heavy. Kind of outcounts all the other yellows, but
this will be an interesting call coming up now.
Yeah, does he run it or does he load it up again?
I mean, we're on Oscar's first. There's some potential here for a big end. It's how much risk does Nick want to take trying to set that up?
I think he said, you know, the Oscar's intern freeze, he said, but then they'll draw the button and almost make a reverse freeze to lock in that red one, and that wouldn't be great. So because of that, he's going to play the double runner here. He's trying to hit red into the yellow top 8, into the top 4-foot red one, and shouldn't be a very easy shot. But these guys make these a lot. So close. Pretty good results, and really opens up a good scoring opportunity at least.
Forces Bruce to throw this guard very tight, especially with his red stone being on the back of the button. Can't leave this guard too high.
I think Nick will probably draw bump.
Regardless of the height here? Possibly.
It's super tight.
Line's good.
It's anywhere on the KIOTI logo, I think they will, but...
Yes, slightly unpredictable being first end. He might choose to run it.
Clean.
That's how well they're feeling the draw path.
Pretty perfect, and decision time. On that side is the side to hit it. Yellow could lie 1 after this stops.
Nästan chop.
Maybe we should commentate the Jacobs game too. Ken Cat showing him where he lives. A little heavy there in the first, back 8 and a chance for return as now. Bill has the hammer. Been chasing all end by the looks of it.
Yep.
So Oscar will have a pretty good opportunity here. He knows what this spot does, but picked it up right out of his hand, and he's wrong side Ricky here.
Okay.
That change anything for Bruce? Yeah, soon Nick's definitely going to draw now.
Yeah. I think Bruce has definitely recognized that.
Fanns ju en hel del köll där också. Ja, tänk att vi trycker till den lite bara rakt.
So the question is whether to weld this or
6-2, den är inte mjuk.
maybe
Maybe
tap another yellow out. He's got lots of kickers to get a force.
He could hit the one on the back of the button into the yellow and leave him lined up in the back yellow.
I don't mind that.
Anything just off here on the freeze and leave a nose double would be great. Pretty precise for not an awesome result.
Don't want to see this over curl.
No, exactly.
I think so. Here more.
Han kan spela någon dubbel här så tar han
A wee bit less, go ahead, sorry. Oh, this. Yeah, it's close. I'd rather be a hair high than over curling.
Yeah, as Bruce said, he agrees with him. I'd rather be a hair high, because then at least the double's going to hit the yellow.
Grant gjorde ju en ganska stor miss på sin där, men det var inte jättebra läge. Då hade man fryst och de faktiskt limmade dit den samma sten igen.
I'm not sure if Nick is singing or what he's doing. It sounds like a song to me.
There's a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
Hard line!
You guys could make some more shots in front of me next time. That'd be great.
Line's good.
Clean!
Line's good.
Close! Yep, line!
Gotta hold the line, even if they bump it here, Mike.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Hard, you've got to go. Hard, never off.
Looks like they did.
That's pretty good, Bruce.
Han kommer ju träffa den
Not bad.
och den.
Not bad for Bruce.
Bara tjappa ändå.
Not much
ta sig runt och nästan träffa
that he can do here really other than
Har du frågan om den hinner
nose it and
den
blow up the
kommer där.
back and try and leave himself a nose hit for the
Den kanske träffar den här
single
och
here.
att den blir kvar på kanten om vi har tur.
Ja, det är svårt att skapa någonting. Ja, klippa med den ditåt.
Is he looking, Brand, at a way to remove some of the reds and still feather his yellow over to potentially be in
Det känns
play?
som, i och för sig kanske stor risk att jag får dra fett ändå. Har jag spelat tappen på första kan jag göra samma dragning om man inte ligger och täcker dem med.
We'll get our view. There we go. Now we can see the angles, Brand.
I think most importantly is to nose it and blow up the back. Who cares what happens? Just try and get almost everything out of the forefoot. You might be able to spin that back one even a little, but it looks like it might hit the red first and just stay there.
He's throwing something lightweight with that ice.
Okay, so he's just going to try and bump it back a hair on the high side and stay in front of all the shrapnel.
Kan man alltså testa någon dragning.
Still sort of see that being as an easy pick, though.
I still don't see the deuce. I'm with you. Like, even if that red one on the button was gone and Nick got to throw his last one right now, which is likely what it's going to look like.
Said on the website they were 1-1. Yep. I thought they lost both the first one. They get their own through.
Yeah. It's hard to see the extra benefit as it sits to us at the moment, throwing something lightweight. My preference would be to
drill it.
Yeah.
If this crosses and jams on the back red and leaves
bring
kind of
a
a
steal
nose
in the
hit,
play.
he's going to have a really tough shot against 3.
Närmar sig. Fortfarande vid.
Gonna throw in a really hard shot for maybe no benefit, right?
That's what I see, but
Vi har halvträff.
needs the shooter to stick, and it's not bad, but that goes away easy. And
kind of how I thought it would look.
Yeah.
After.
Pretty good shot. But
Good shot, though.
Bruce is never going to jam that. Even if he does, like, he could throw the nose hit here and still lie 3 and no double. And bit of a tough draw for one. That would probably be his best result, actually.
Yeah, pretty much right on the nose. Even slight roll more towards the center line. Actually,
Can also take you off this one.
There he is.
yeah, there it is.
Sometimes they listen to us, Mike, so we got to be careful. Sometimes they can hear us. Up from the rafters, we're about 140 feet away. Well, probably we're about a 3/4 60-degree wedge away, I'd say.
Downhill.
Definitely downhill, yeah. So last stone of the first end for #1 ranked skip in the world, Bruce Mouat. Removes the yellow, and if he does it kind of precisely, leave a real tough shot for Nick against 3 in the forefoot.
Yep. Clean.
Yep. Whoa. Curl. Clean. Clean.
I think clean probably does the trick.
Clean
here.
sounds really good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Where's the score, Nick?
That's.
Har vi trippen eller?
I don't think we envisioned it quite like that, but that was my fear of something like that happening. And it actually ended up worse for Nick than I thought it could. Honestly.
It's definitely not good. Like, this is an out-turn draw to the back for one.
Ja.
The good news is he kind of just threw this path, but I don't know, you're a skip as a sweeper. I definitely don't want this as the last shot of the first end.
Yeah, I thought Nick could have a much easier routine shot for one. It was looking like a force, and I think just kind of looked like they were trying to make something out of nothing. That's what it felt like to me.
Vi kan gå mot bakstenen så länge man bara fryser bakstenen.
Seal of 2 is better than the seal of 3.
So there is, I think they're joking. Grant says, well, I wouldn't make the draw, so I'd play the nose hit on the Reds, and I think there is a triple for one.
Is that what Grant said?
Yeah. So last rock first end, and then a big shot early here for Nicholas Edin and the Swedish superstars here. The backing is good for shot. It's getting tight. This is really tight, Mike.
It is. It's going. They're touching the front.
Switch to the feather. Cheeky. That'll do the trick, though, I think. Looks like one yellow to me. And it is. And sigh of relief for Team Edin. We'll be back after this 1-0 Team Edin. Team Mouat will have the hammer in the second end.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Så kunde man tro det var lätt andra lag i alla fall.
Nära. Hänger lite. Nära. Han har kallat lite. Därifrån. Linjen kommer fint också. Han drar lite kall, va? Bra.
End result is a force. Single point for Team Edin, and they take a 1-0 lead. The other men's game going on, which you probably saw most of the first end, was Team Retornaz versus Team Jacobs, and somehow out of that mess, Team Jacobs stole one. It looked like
Line's good.
Joel Retornaz had a good chance for two. The two ladies' games, we got Team Carey, who unfortunately for them is 0-3 and playing for a couple of bucks and some pride here against Team Ha, who is 1-2 and need this victory to have any chance of getting into the playoffs. And the other ladies' game is a similar story.
6 feet on that one, is it?
Stefania Constantini and the ladies from Italy are 0-3, but up 3-0 on Team Black, who is 1-2. Team Black beating Isabella Rana from Sweden, so they're alive but need a win and have dug themselves an early hole. So back on the feature sheet, this is more typical. Tight guard, corner guard, come around, freeze, blow it up. No?
Does Hammy just... I've seen the playbook. I think he's going around the red corner.
Okay. Unless Bruce is going to keep me on my toes, but
No, he heard you. So then Nick throws a high center, or Nick would love to chase this, but if Hammy makes this good, he won't be able to chase it. He won't be able to hit the guard, the 5-rock free guard zone, and this has become a pretty standard call now, hasn't it, Mike?
Well, and with Bruce and the boys, their power in the middle to clean up and get the play to the corner is, as good as anybody in the field. So I think this is this is a playbook type offensive style that they use very often in even ends. Not sure about the odd ends. We'll have to see if there's some changes when that occurs.
Thinks he can chase that. This is where I say, if I'm in the hack, can we find something a little harder? Because this looks impossible.
I mean, you could feather the guard too, Brent, and roll to the button.
And this
roll into the behind the center.
Yeah, and we were talking about this last night. This is the shot that we see, the only really spot on the sheets that we see inside out, we see it miss kind of straight, on the straight side.
The last day or so.
Especially if it's overthrown at all. So Rasmus Rana with a tough shot here needs to nail the weight. And they're saying it's heavy.
Early in the week, I was seeing overcurls here. But like you mentioned, late, they've been straighter. It's not heavy.
Nailed the weight, so it's pretty good. Is he going to kill it, though?
No. Yes?
Nice.
Ooh. Maybe. Ooh. Don't know. Tell us, Bruce.
That's probably gone.
Probably out. So that's what they call perfect weight. You see how hard that shot is to throw just perfect weight. And your reward is the...
He didn't roll far enough.
Yeah, it's the gimme double.
What do you say? Okay.
Same spot, a hair more roll.
Yeah, trust him, man.
Or hair more weight, and yeah, unfortunately, pair of pants double.
Should stay open though. So. Bobby Lammy. Now that Jen officially retired, both my daughters can openly tell us that Bobby's their favorite curler. Oh, sneaky! I didn't see that happen. He hit the middle one first.
Open where you didn't think.
Yeah. They love him. They just love the call. Hard bub. They go around when the curling's on, they'll repeat that. It's pretty funny. And then they like how he sweeps. Cause
they love that extra elbow.
Yeah, the 100-mile-an-hour shoulder surgery that's en route here the next couple of years for Bob. So Rasmus Rana asked to chase that one. I don't think they played it that way. That got tighter to the guard than they anticipated.
I didn't think that was possible.
Yep.
Yeah, in order for it to go that direction, you're right. It had to actually hit the center one first.
It must have. It happened fast, so I didn't see, but it must have. So good hit and roll there by Rasmus, and
little chase coming up.
Back to the little cat and mouse. And this shot, not that this is an easy shot, but these look very makeable this week, Mike. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Just we've got such a good surface that I've seen the first 3 or 4 days. If the players are throwing the right weight, the brushers are really able to manage these stones, whether they got to hold them straight or get that little extra finish.
That needs to stick around though, and that's kind of real good. Nick's not going to love the look of that.
Okay.
This looks like 2.
It kind of does, yeah. I mean, he's going to chase this, and then probably Bruce is going to go around the corner. Nick's going to run it back. They'll probably make 3 or 4 runbacks in a row to hold him to 1. I don't know. It does look like a good offensive opportunity here, especially just coming into thirds, first rocks. Lots of time left for Bruce and the guys to set up a deuce. Oscar with a very similar shot to Rasmus here, so they know this spot well. And Nick last night had some music to my ears. I'm not sweeping anymore, but I'd like to play for Nick if I come back, because he doesn't carve, so they don't sweep as much. They don't believe in the carve.
They don't?
No, so they don't sweep. You watch them today, they won't sweep anything other than maybe a draw at the end to finish it, but we've done that for years. But they don't really see it working.
They're probably going to live shot.
I disagree.
No, everybody disagrees. I just watch the games. I mean, I'm just sharing information. Like, it's not facts.
I've seen what Flash can do, and the Rock listens.
The Rock listens
to the Zilla.
Bruce is hitting this, Mike. You a little surprised?
Well, the one thing with that rock still biting the 8-foot, it's tough for Bruce to outdraw it around the corner.
True, and if he's not shot, Nick will go around the center.
And he does not want that.
På de två takearna. Han sopar upp bollen så.
Bobby thinks he can get that to move too.
Oof, that's well under there that time, I think.
11-5.
What I'm seeing with when we talk about holding and carving, some of that is ice dependent. The conditions that are on the surface.
Nick did acknowledge that. He says on some surfaces, if it's soft in a curling club sometimes, or if there's frost, different conversation.
Yes. And I would say last night, actually, the ice conditions changed that it was actually a little bit of a greasy feel. It did not, I don't think you could do as much with the brushes last night. But early in the week, when the ice was crisp, there's a little bit of, I would say, freshness, maybe a little bit more bite in the ice. I saw some things that, like, you could do some fancy things with the brooms.
Like missed shots by accident.
And yes, wreck them.
Saw Team Jacobs wreck one of Benny's hits.
First end.
It took Benny quite some time to get over it. He wasn't super happy about that.
Yeah. I saw the same thing, whatever team it was playing us, might have been Team Brunner. It's same exact scenario.
So they were talking about the freeze here, Mike. I think they've gone back to the chase. That's tight ice for the freeze, so this is a hard chase. I think the freeze kind of does the same thing, but I guess the chase can roll out from behind the corner. Nick would love to see a blank here. Would hate to see a deuce, so anything he can do to prevent that deuce. So they are curling it now. Lied to me last night. This is just kind of a little draw bump, so they do think that helps. That's got to get out.
Oh no. They didn't carve it though.
No.
Like the broom head angle was more traditional.
They didn't knife. So a chance to lie too. Tricky not to leave a double. Has to roll kind of right over to back 12-foot. But if Grant can make this, no super easy outs for Nick. As I said, that was a really difficult shot for Oscar. He knew he couldn't overthrow it because he had to get some curl by the guard. Like, what would happen to sweeping if the rule was that the brush handle cannot be over top of the rock?
That would bring officials
True.
into the game.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that one. That is...
But if we sweep like we used to, like 90 degrees to the rock straight across the path, we wouldn't hold it as well, and we wouldn't, the carving would be a non-issue, right? I think.
It would definitely temper both, I believe. Definitely getting that steep behind the rock angle. I think that's that's maximizing what sweepers can do.
I'm not seriously going to draw here in the second.
Unless we can find a worse material.
Well, that too. Oscar just walked up and tapped top four. Like, that can't be serious, can it?
I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
They're standing in the middle of the sheet.
Ooh.
Okay. Jag brukar gömma den där här uppe så den inte är rimlig för att bara hacka ut och ligga 3 i alla fall.
Taking on some good risk.
Ja.
He's got to nail the height of this. Like, the good thing for Nick is the guard is very tight.
And it's yellow, like it's a Swedish guard, which is good, but this is surprising. Most guys would nose that left ones are looking at it.
He's read the stats. I can't give up 2 to Bruce.
Well, it could be that. I don't know. Like I said, he doesn't do anything by accident. I'm not saying he does everything right, but yeah, if he knows the back one, and then Bruce knows that there might be a double with the heater, I don't know, but a deuce here doesn't, a 3 doesn't lose you the game either. A deuce here definitely doesn't, though, and 3 here would be a...
Nick is one of the most well-thought, players that we've ever seen in the sport, so everything's done with a lot of intention.
I don't know, maybe he's got a lunch reservation.
Håll igång linje lite. Linje!
Yes, tight, Hasse.
Line's tight.
Ja! Hårt!
Uh-oh, this is rocking.
Eller,
Weight was, within the range. Pretty good, yeah. An extra 2 feet of weight on that, and it would have been.
Well, the only thing is if he does that and hits and rolls.
That actually might have poked open the way that was coming in.
Maybe, so they just need to nose this, don't they?
I think so.
Nick's got to make a double now.
He will have nowhere to hide after. If Bruce is able to nose that, Nick's center, there's no hiding. He would have to make a sort of an angle double. Do not want to roll this under the center and hook.
Oh no, that would be terrible.
That'd be... Yeah, or split for 2.
He might. He's on tilt for some reason. Maybe he goes around back 8. I don't know. Totally unrelated question. You think Uber Eats could find us out here, Mike?
Wide 10.
You know, at St. John's, I think anything's possible.
Sure, pretty friendly folks.
Good
They'll
ice
do
for
anything
10.
for you.
Think so.
We're trying to nose this with, I think, a 10.
Another
Like you said, Mike, the worst result here is rolling under the guard. Really anywhere.
Either guard.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. But
definitely not the center.
lower on the wide when you're probably jamming.
Vi kan ju runda oavsett vad han gör bakåt.
Right on the nose.
Oavsett vad de ska göra så är det ett långt slag. Men absolut, han är sjukt bra på dem. Så. Absolut. Det kommer ju vara nära. Ska han skjuta, alltså chappar han nu? Han ska skjuta den, då är ju bara för 3 i alla fall. Ja.
Easy. First skip stone in the second end, and well played end by Team Out here. And really good opportunity. This sounds perfect.
Gotta go.
No, you don't need to go.
That's
Very
perfect.
nice. I can't unhear that now. Bob.
Bob. I told you. Hard Bob. Gotta go, Bob. Yeah, my kids say it all the time. It's great. And when Bob goes, he goes.
För att den här ska komma i spel så behöver vi vara ända här nere.
One of the best sweepers in the game. If you ask,
Full bakåtta så all
if you ask people who are the best sweepers, his name generally comes up in the top 5 for sure. And he's not top 5 biggest guys out there.
No, he's maximizing his build.
Although his back and shoulders are quite large if you see him up close.
Yeah.
He's bigger in real life than he looks on TV for sure.
Han kan ju få en tangering om vi kommer väldigt långt bak. Han kommer ju välja skjutningen. Han spelar ju nyss också.
Scottish strong is a thing. It's like farmer strong, right?
Yeah,
Samma fart på
So Nick's all in here.
Yeah, Flash is kind of farmer strong.
Yeah.
Bob,
lite segare.
Scottish strong, and some of the guys on White's team, they are, they're brutes. There's a reason that they are a very good team and keep pushing Bruce.
So
Bruce answers.
Yeah, for sure he does. Seems to have all the answers so far. So Nick is playing the draw here. Wants this as far back as it can go to be shot. He had most of his chips in the middle, he felt, so he just kind of pushed the rest in here.
He's fooled us. We thought he might play that double. Oh, this is close. Oh, plenty of weight.
Totally fooled. Yeah, weight's perfect, but totally fooled on both of those come-arounds, and he's going to pay the price here. Really didn't want to give up 2. 3 would have been bad. That makes 4 kind of terrible.
Yeah. Control.
Come off the line.
Let's see that one. They liked it the whole way, and it just curled more than they thought.
Off the line, aren't it? Yep.
Not sure if rock trouble or just ice is curling more or what, but Bruce and his team would have had choice. The higher-ranked team, Mike, what do they get choice of before the game?
Practice options or rock color.
And almost everybody takes rocks, don't they?
Generally.
Yeah.
He said 10.
His practice options are just turn and first or second. First or second is really irrelevant.
And you're practicing in tandem, so there's really not much difference.
And almost everybody out here has actually the ability to throw an in-turn and an out-turn, if I'm not mistaken.
Usually.
So the turn's not that important.
Usually there are definitely players with preference for the draw the button.
I think almost everybody has a preference. But. So final stone here and an open hit for 4 for Scotland's Bruce Mouat. And
Skulle den vara fram för 10 så kan man ju ligga tror jag fortfarande han skjuter den.
Clean! Boat!
Doesn't sound good. If you're an Edin fan, And that's 4 on the board and a 4-1 lead. Huge spin around in this game, and we'll be back to catch the third end action right after this.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line. It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
You keep drawing. Yeah, give up the deuce. They made good shots and you missed a real tough one. That's a deuce.
If it's out, it's just
I think they're
3.
measuring for 5.
Double or nothing. I'm not gonna argue.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We're back at the Coyote National, live from St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Brent Lang and joined by Mike McEwen, the #1 villain in town, as we mentioned, after beating Team Gushu last night. But that was an interesting choices by Team Edin. As we said, it wouldn't have gone without thinking their way through it, but didn't work. I know that. It's 4-1, giving up a 4 to this team. You're not going to beat them very often if you give them a 3, let alone a 4. So, Mike, you mentioned in the break maybe a little bit of impatience there. Any comments on that or any thoughts as to why?
That's the only thing I can see. I think from watching a previous game, we maybe talked about that a little bit. Were we both on the mic for the Edin Jacobs game?
Yep, we were.
Yeah. I thought there was a couple of shot calls that, you maybe sensed that as well. I think that's unlike Nick. Usually he's, very tempered, very patient, and I'm feeling like he's taking on extra risk in situations that are not a lot of benefit to him. Even in that first end, as we watched how difficult a shot he had for one, it didn't need to sort of play out that way.
Could be, and he mentioned last night when he was on the broadcast that they're not playing their best, so maybe feeling like they need to force it a little and, can't get down in games, especially, let's be honest, everybody comes into a game against Mouat knowing we're going to have to make almost every shot to beat these guys. And we're not going to be able to make many mistakes. We're going to have to take on some extra risk. And
Waits there, pretty close.
anyway, we are where we are, Mike. You can't go back. There's no mulligans. Speaking of mulligans, Team Constantini would like a mulligan in the second end. I thought 4 was bad, but 5's worse, especially when you're up 3. So Team Black up 5-3 after 2 ends.
14-2 again.
Team Constantini will have the hammer in the third. That's I didn't see any of that end, but that's unexpected, we'll say.
Who has the over in that game?
All the winning bettors. So Nick asking Christopher Sundgren here, just get up a couple of corner guards. Maybe we can make a deuce here, get back in the game. There is still time. The 2-1-2-1 strategy should still work, I think.
If you're going to give up 4, I guess the best place in the game to do it's the first 2 ends.
Yeah, do it early, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it looked pretty good pace. I think you're low 14s.
But like you mentioned, if this goes badly, Bruce will almost give Nick 2.
Yeah,
and then get a force and then have another it doesn't take long for Nick to go 2-1-2 and tie this up, and it's a quite different game.
D-line top 4.
I think that's what the mindset has to be. Maybe if they can knot this up by the 5th, 6th end, that's mission accomplished for Team Edin at this point.
Over curling slightly.
Team Mouat is deciding to choke one of the corners. I like that call. I don't think Nick loves that rock there, and that's why if you think the other team's not going to like what you're doing, that's good news.
Did they purposely stagger the center ones?
I didn't see that.
Or was that a misplacement on the straight lineup?
I'm not sure.
This might have been the game plan right from the start to defense this end, or they didn't get those two lined up and then reacted from that. But we do see this quite often. Kind of that, I don't know, you might call it like a triangle effect in the house defense.
Got Rasmus here dealing with the middle right away with a hit, trying to hit and roll behind their. The one Bob just drew there.
Might be a little bit of an overroll, but spin back.
A little bit. That'll be very chaseable and roll back into the 8-foot.
Yeah, just probably almost wide open.
Especially if you're not hanging about like in the 4-foot. Different if you're staying about the 4-foot, I think.
I think they switched to peeling this out.
No, I don't think you want to stick this. There's no, I don't see a benefit. This would just be a catcher potentially later in the end for Nick, Team Edin to use. Kind of see just hitting this and rolling out.
Yeah, and as Grant said, the only way he likes this is if you can roll right to the back of the 4-foot. If it's risking hitting the guard or you can't make that, then let's just rip it out of there. They just still have some work to do. And it goes back to what you said, Mike. If Nick and the guys make a couple of good shots this end, they're going to get a deuce. Up one with playing the 4th for Bruce and the guys is pretty good position. Nick likes the hit and roll. Oscar's asking about the draw around that one. Back 8.
Right around the yellow red.
I think so.
It's a good option.
Need to get one buried, however you can do that. Nick says enough from you guys down there. We're going to play this hit and roll.
And I think your translation's spot on.
I think so. And at some point, it really is the skip's choice.
Have you ever seen where a thrower just
refuses?
Does their own shot?
Oh, yeah. Well, have you ever played against the Park brothers?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen them chase one of their players out onto the train tracks right from the ice.
The days before everything was streamed.
Some of the most talented and entertaining curlers I've ever seen, for sure. So didn't get the roll quite in there, and chance for Grant to chase this one. It's a piece buried, and more than a piece. This is not an easy shot.
Trying to hold his shooter somewhere in the 4-foot area.
This looks a little light.
As hard as you can, Colby. All the way.
Is it going out?
No problem.
No problem.
I got 12.
Is it us talking this morning? These guys are as good at anybody at that shot, and then we were like, well, maybe they're as good as anybody at all the shots. Maybe that's why they're the #1 team in the world currently. I know they hear a lot of footsteps, though, Mike. They have a big lead in terms of points. But on any given day, they know as well as anybody, there's 3 or 4 other teams, maybe 5 other teams that when they play their absolute best, and Bruce plays his best, they don't always win.
And you can still match them.
Yeah. There's more and more teams that
can do that.
That are in that boat, exactly.
It's probably a half dozen, give or take.
Yeah.
Don't smell the rest of this team.
Finding the draw this time. Oscar got his way this time.
Then it becomes almost a pissing match, for lack of better terms. Who can make the better shot, right?
That's exactly it. Jerry Peckham said that to me years ago. He said, you know what? The game is in a place now where it is just an absolute pissing match of precision shot making. So strategy is still part of it, but it really comes down to how good can you make the shot you call. Not just make it, but make it perfect. So speaking of perfect, that wasn't a little fortunate there to do it. Chips off the middle one, but gets it buried. And forcing
the freeze.
Yeah, Grant's playing the freeze here, so
He's going to have off his own if we're on the nose.
even if he makes this perfect, they'll probably have a little double to free it up and stay frozen again. And good chance for a deuce here. If Oscar can make one more and Nick makes 2 good shots, it should be a deuce.
A little narrow, Hammy. Well, Nick.
Line's good.
Line's good. Line's good. Well, Nick.
Hard line. Hard line.
Hard down.
Let it go line.
Hammy Jr. going to work
Let it
here.
go line.
Needed to stay on the center line
Whoa.
side.
Does it spin and kind of stayed edge on edge, maybe touch under.
Not too bad.
Okay.
Nick might just freeze sort of the edge of that one.
Den andra är den riktigt tunna dubbeln där, men det är risk att man bara blir kvar ändå där, men kanske gå på något sånt, men ja.
I think you could make the double if you had to. You can hit it really thin and make that double. Like your shooter's almost never going through there, but it's
Can you get your shooter
thin.
to spin towards the other corner?
I think it might hit the back yellow to do that. The original call was the straight freeze right there. It wouldn't be removable, and I think they would play exactly Nick's thing. They'd play the hit on the red into the yellow, and shooter would come over and loosen it up anyway, so that's not great. Could make the double off the middle one, but then you're going to leave a double that's too easy to leave Bruce.
This is really 3 shots. As Rasmus was just kind of you could just chip the red, just moving it just out of the 8-foot, chip it thin, roll towards the center, maybe half frozen or so on the middle situation. Actually, I don't mind that shot.
Yeah. Just a bit.
They're all tough shots.
They're all tough. A bit of a miss by Grant, but it ended up in a really good spot.
Oh, there's a 4th shot.
That's not one of the options.
I don't think so.
No, you can't leave this situation as is.
Den är bajt 8, så precis bättre än den. Annars vill man
They seem to think they can make this. I think they seem to think they can make this double and spin the shooter right over.
Okay, well, maybe we'll find out. Oh, he's throwing a draw.
Oh, they are drawing.
I don't know what's going on.
Fooled me when he tapped over there.
I thought you were making a double and spin here. Yeah, me too. This is interesting. Like, this is probably not going to be first or, well, it's not going to be first. I don't think it's going to be second shot either.
No lack of curl here.
Not going to be second shot, so. Interesting.
It's well under, peeking out the wide side, maybe a touch.
It could play. I think they're going to hit the red and roll towards the center, spread them out. Try not to leave.
Try to lie 3?
Yeah. Can easily lie 3. They're going to leave an easy double probably, but.
Trying to stuff that there.
A little more.
Maybe even easy peel.
Yeah, let's go normal, Bruce. You're just like kissing this one and getting up here.
2/3.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2/3.
So hit that red one, side 4, biting the 4. Jam it on the yellow, 2/3, roll, and as Grant said, kiss the top of the red, and it'll kind of spin up a bit over towards the corner guard. And
2/3 center line side. Lie 3, and hopefully the doubles are tough.
Maybe even if there is a double, it might leave a nose hit back to still lie 2 with a tough double, but Nick's going to have to probably make 2 doubles here to score more than a point. Unless there's a really uncharacteristic miss coming up here from Bruce.
Yep, whoa, curl, whoa, Hammy, hard. Get it right up there, Bob.
Ooh. Good. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Do you like apples? How do you like them apples? That looked like it was spinning out, and if it does, advantage, Team Edin. It comes right back at the end, and now I don't know how you make that one, that yellow one behind the corner guard count. Because that red one's likely going to be there the rest of the end. Got to make the perfect hit and roll here, don't you?
Hit and roll freeze.
Or you could just freeze there. Freeze on second shot. Where's Nick going to go?
Så man ligger för att ta 2. Blastar han det så har man ett svårt slag för 2.
Why is he standing on that side of the sheet? He's not thinking run double, is he?
Trolleri.
Kan ju skjuta cornern och få samma
That's crazy, no?
I think so, but
The
he's
trip?
probably not thinking run double. He's probably thinking run triple.
Köla under, eller blir den bra?
And that's...
No, he's thinking around the horn. I think it comes up. I don't think it hits the red. I think it
comes up too high.
Well, you got to just touch it
to get it go straight sideways. Yeah.
He's playing it, though.
He's playing it.
Again, the patience.
I saw the hack weight roll freeze to the one that's just behind the tee line.
Or draw to the one behind the tee line, freeze for second in a good spot, and they can't get it out. And there's really nowhere to draw to. They might guard, and you have a runner for 2. But let's see. I prefer to watch this, so that's good news. I want to see if this is possible. I mean, it is possible. Nick knows angles as well as anybody, so. But he has to just touch that second one. Anything thick on the second one, it's coming up into that yellow.
16th of a rock?
But it would then be second shot, even if it went up into the yellow. That could be part of his thought. Yeah, it's thin, ultra thin. We're going to find out, Mikey.
Oh, it went right where he...
Sometimes I read it right. Not usually.
When you described it, I envisioned exactly that happening.
How's your day going, King Nick? Oh, you had to millimeter touch the middle one. Here's the replay, and yeah, it just wasn't
right
quite.
out.
I also don't mind forcing him to play it.
A hair thinner on the second one, and it was there. Like
almost like as tremendous a shot as you'll ever see.
Yeah,
but not. But
well, you leave me no
a few millimeters from being absolutely perfect to being that. That's the difference.
Yeah, that could be 2 yellows buried behind the corner guard and just this lonely red, and then Bruce would have had to make a pressure draw around the guard to not give up a double for 3, but instead there's, well, I guess there is a run back. Nick's going to play this run double, isn't he?
Thinking like edge B.
On the guard that Grant's holding the broom behind, almost right on the nose, and jam that one and the shooter go across. He's not drawn for 1.
I think it depends where this stone of Bruce's ends up.
I thought they were tapping top 12. If I'm Bruce, I think I bring this into the 8-foot.
I think live.
Just bury it. Like, you can't bring it into the Grand Slam logo there, top 8. You might leave a triple, but
triple territory.
You see, Nick's shown us that he's not afraid of anything today. He's going to get after it.
Line's okay. Line's good.
Not really working yet, but he's getting after it.
Line's good. Always hammy. Always hammy. Overcurling, boys.
Overcurl's probably okay.
Just a little nice on it.
I think Nick's going to play this run.
Think he's going to go give it a go?
No, he's not. Now you're going to be patient.
I've just been...
It's possible.
I cannot anticipate what's coming. I've been, I don't think I've ever been so wrong. What's coming next in a game?
It's hard. It's pretty thin on the yellow to get that back red. So
I'm a little fooled though. Like now we're now we're not gonna play it.
Okay, no more gas. Let's pump the brakes here.
It's tough. I think it's there, but Nick, like you said, Nick knows angles better than anyone, and the angle is close to not being quite right.
So final stone in any event, third end here. Nicholas Edin drawing against 2. Team Mouat in full control of this game, regardless of what happens here. So needs a piece of the 4-foot. Needs to not get a piece of that corner guard.
It's hot.
It's off the corner. Coming
down.
Stop.
Coming down.
Arms up and single for Team Edin, and that's 4-2. And when we get back, Mouat will have a 2-point lead and the hammer in the fourth end. We'll be right back.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
This is the Cornwall Curling Club. It's my home club. I started curling here when I was 7 years old. I decided to stick with curling because I really enjoyed the small team environment. I curled with the same girls from the time I was 9, basically until the end of juniors. So getting to form those friendships with my teammates was really special to me.
I started curling because of my grandparents, and both my parents curled and my brother, so it was just like a whole family thing. And when you walk into the curling club in Truro, Nova Scotia, and everyone greets you, and it's such a warm environment, and it's fun. After school, we'd go, and all of our friends would be there, so it was just like such a fun environment. And
we're back, and if you're cheering for the Scottish boys, they're pretty happy at this point. It's been all Team Mouat, really. Nick taking on a couple of risky shots, an unfortunate second end, but lots of good shots made that end by both sides. And up to with the hammer in the fourth end is a pretty comfortable situation. Bruce and the fellows are going to make sure they score here. They're playing the chip shot because Christopher missed the center line. This isn't a shot that guys play much anymore, Mike, because it's not allowed if that's on the center. So
I love it though. You get the opportunity to play it, but like you mentioned, I think played 3 games for us. Had 1 opportunity at it, but that's why the lead's got to be not just precise with weight, but line too. Because that really changes the overall setup of this end. Bruce, in all likelihood, should be able to minimize, the majority of risk.
Christopher won't miss the center line twice, though.
Ooh,
or
sure?
will he? No, I'm never sure. I'm sure now.
I don't know. It's in that logo. Can't tell.
Yeah, I know, right? The center line disappears, and then the measuring device, they come out with a square, and it's like, oh.
But if there's no center line, you can't use the square.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out eventually.
No, we
like same time on both and just wiggle too. Like,
Hammy Jr. just trying to nose hit this one. Hammy's dad, a legend of curling, not just in Scotland, but around the world. He made that around the world shot that Nicholas tried there in the World Championship years ago.
I think it's in the top, when they do that
100
sure list.
10.
And that's, I think that's down there in the top 10 or so.
The guy that played
he whipped it too.
Oh yeah, he used to play. He was a fiery fella on and off the ice, a great time on and off the ice.
Never a dull moment with Hammy's dad, that's for sure.
I know. Or with Hammy. And I imagine the rest of the family too. So Nick going to play the come around. Really at least needs a force here. Can't afford to blank and can't afford to give up a deuce. I was lucky enough we played when I was playing with Johnny Moe and juniors. We got to play against Hammy, the old Welton Beauchamp, and somehow we snuck out a win, and that was our home club at the time. That was probably our biggest win of our life to that point. I think they let us win, but they're nice guys. This has got to go even to get shot. Not quite shot. Doesn't change much. I think they're just peeling anyway. But
peeling or chasing?
Make it a little bit pricier. Yeah, that double isn't really there, is it? It's just going to go on the other red.
Yeah. Hair thicker. Bruce, taking a moment to think about making this end expensive for Team Edin, but I like the shot call too.
So where that red one is that Hammy rolled, that shooter, that's a great slash rock for anything behind this center.
Great shot.
Clean. Oh, just clean. It's perfect. That's pretty good.
That was surgical.
Yeah. Clean. How's Bruce seeing the lines?
I think that was Bob that called clean.
Oh, could have been.
Jag gillar ni. Runda djup.
Hell of a shot there from Bob.
Eller center. Kan jag sätta den på någon? Ja. Ligga lite på den här sidan innan jag hänger.
Crowd appreciating a fancy shot from Chelsea Carey against a mittful. I think she made an angle raise for one. So Nick going back to the center guard, and
Pretty much was I.
if it goes to right where his broom is, it's a bit of a tricky peel, and I think that's what he's trying. But if it gets tighter than that, it's not going to be very complicated. This isn't going to be a hard peel.
I could hear that.
No, little too deep.
Yeah. 2/3 in the out.
3/4.
Half stone still just nicking it best.
What's the thinnest I can hit? You can probably get away, even a half stone's fine. Like if you're a quarter, it does something bad.
Don't hit a quarter. What about an eighth?
Well, that probably puts 2 reds in the ring.
Probably, yeah. Probably does something great.
Oh, look at that.
Curl.
Spin. That's accidentally pretty good.
Runda den bak här.
Accidentally, not bad.
Ja.
If you draw back there, Nick, they're going to just play with it and try and make a deuce around the corner. This is...
Maybe not the fifth.
Ugh.
Höjde.
This is not a good situation.
No, this is danger bay.
Vad gillar du Fis?
But given the score, they're put on the gas, I guess, at this point.
I guess. This looks never like a steal. A force is okay, but it looks like, I would say, 8 times out of 10, this is 2 or more for red. Even if you make your shots well.
Zero steals and 1 time of force.
Yes, that's fair.
Plats. Bra linje. Kör då. Ha köla. Ja. Ända hit ner. Dra köl också. Kom igen, det är så kort ut. Kom igen.
That's pretty good.
Kom igen, mer.
Hit and roll back 4.
So, I think that's exactly the shape that I saw last night. That it just, they needed more weight on that, but they're not diving quite as much into the 12-foot. It's actually a little bit more difficult than it may seem to get one completely buried around that wide. Saw that a little bit last night.
Everything seems easy from up here, Mike.
Clean. Whoa, curl. Clean. Curl. Right to it.
Really want to stick anywhere in the rings on this is good, and
just don't roll behind the other guard. That's pretty good.
Let's leave a hit and roll for shot or freeze, okay? Ooh, this can't feel good. I mean, the whole game hasn't felt great if you're Team Edin, but this can't feel right at all. Like, what's the best case? Yeah.
I like that. I've thrown it already. If I'd thrown the weight, it was perfect ice.
We're pushing in the chips all in if we play that draw now, right? Like around the corner.
Den blir ju dock ganska lätt att chasea, men då är den bakom 10 i alla fall. Ja.
I'm not sure. I don't like anything either, so I'm okay with this. It's a bit like a wounded soldier just running out to save somebody else's life here. They know what's happening to them. They can get this buried. I don't know that they want it behind the tee line. I think your chances better of getting them to miss the runner than a little tap freeze, but maybe create a pocket back there is his thought. So I don't mind this call.
I think that's what he's trying to create. In that a chase would maybe set up a pocket.
I think I've ever seen it before, but...
And there's no lack of creativity going on here.
Kör. Ja. Får den gömd. Kom igen. Ja, okej.
Yeah, I don't want to pocket.
It's not shot, but you can hear Grant, I don't want to make a pocket. That would be good.
You split that, it's okay.
Or if I peel, they freeze.
I'm not sure what happened in the feature game on Sportsnet. I think it's a burnt stone, though.
Try and just hit this thin and get this down a little.
What about even just trying to, like, pick it?
Oh, yeah, he burnt it.
Okay.
Oh.
They had the shot made, and he hit it with his broom.
Well, I'm not losing ever.
You can do this if you
Right
want.
there.
Yeah, he sure did. Ooh.
Night. Take it off. Don't touch the rocks.
Didn't disturb a lot in the house, so they should be able to replace
What?
things
Have I hit a third?
fairly
Hit the
simply.
red. You're always hitting the red.
Hate to see that,
Okay.
but part of the game.
It is part of the game. Yeah, it's a tough.
Throw,
Sweeping's hard,
control
especially at high
time.
speed.
Stay back 12.
No different than grounding your club accidentally in a hazard or something like that in golf. But
no, that's just
If I
stupid.
don't hang about, it's not the end of the world.
That's not difficult. That's not happening at high speed. That's either you're cheating or you're stupid. Those are the two options. So chase this one, roll and bump the red. You heard Grant say I don't really want to leave a pocket, but it's hard to throw this hard enough to not leave a pocket.
Yes. Well, yep. Hard. Hard. High. High.
left the pocket they didn't want though.
Kind of. Yeah, at least it's higher, but another great sweep by Bub.
They wanted to get by a little with more space to pop that red, get a bit more separation between the two stones.
There was room to make it really good, actually. And I mean, it's still freeze. Steel doesn't look very likely, so.
Det är som att gå på den. Det troliga att den får lite extra kallkast som inte är helt.
But Nick's done a good job creatively giving himself a chance here to get a force.
Yeah, he's going to get a force, or he's going to force him to 4.
Yeah, one or the other.
Looking like the options.
Ja,
Or 2 or 3. And
passera linan. Ja, till touchlinan, ja.
But I think, that was, scoreboard wise, that was well thought out what they were trying to accomplish, and that this is, as we're looking at it, this is what Nick was hoping to create.
Yeah, I would agree, and a really good freeze here, and Bruce is going to come down and try and free it up, and
probably try to nose it, move his out of the way. And Nick might have to do the same thing potentially.
So Nicholas Edin's first in the 4th. In big trouble.
Bra eller? Lite plats. Ja, bra linje. Lite plats. Lite plats. Ja, bra linje, kommer nu. Bra linje.
Line's good.
Limma dit där. Köra. Kall. Kall. Limma dit där.
Needs to get on the top red one, though. I don't think it's going to get there.
Ja. Nice.
That, I think they can get that out, though.
I think Bruce can spring that.
Third.
I noticed on the Jacob sheet, interestingly, they actually left the play stand. I think the burn actually helped them. Or at least that's what it looks like, rather than replacing the situation.
Would you rather just do this? Känns som det finns en chans i alla fall att den kan stanna.
Which is an option to them.
Han behöver i alla fall rulla av.
You can let everything stand as it is.
Pil.
If you just throw like this way, there.
Talking about downing the weight,
Stay on
Brent?
nose pretty much, and it goes through the hole.
So?
Och så låg den bra. Och så hängde han så här. half-stone på när han liksom stenen passerade hans kvast.
Don't want to feather the one that's kind of frozen on the corner up and put that behind the guard.
If we play this and sit on the nose of it through the hole,
I färdriktningen.
What does he do?
Ja, exakt. I KIOTI-lagen.
I don't know that nose goes through the hole, though. Does it, guys? It doesn't miss the one that's frozen on. It looks like it's touching that.
Yeah, don't want to move that too far.
Might dead stuff.
Which would be fine. Maybe like a hack weight right on the nose. Just spread the reds.
Just spring both
Stay right in
reds.
front of the yellow. That would be bad for Nick.
Spring both yellows to the edge of the 12s.
So they are going to the softer one. Kind of a nose bump.
yeah, back line, Bruce.
Back lining.
Like this.
Right on the nose. I think it'll
Like,
stay
we can
right in
blast
front.
it easy enough if you want.
High 13s.
I'd be tempted to hit it a little bit harder, but
Nice, but I like it.
they get the line right. This will work.
Another inch.
And after that burnt stone in the feature game, Brad Jacobs makes a great shot on his first, and now he has an open hit for 4.
Yeah, Joel just coming heavy with a draw and clicking off. He was drawing against 3, but had an opportunity to minimize damage. And
It can be really anything but light here. You have to move this far enough.
Clean. Yep. Whoa, whoa.
That looks like it needs to curl, Grant.
Straight. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nope, apparently not.
Great shot.
Is that good? Yellow is gone eventually, and Nick's
Pretty
like,
sure that's a nice little shoot they created.
I don't see anything.
Just the line calling and the patience is what it looks like when a team is, you know, operating at their best.
It's like you're dead here. You have to draw to Nick's broom to give up 2.
Yes.
What a shot. What a great call by Grant Hardy, and Bruce throws it perfect. Like, that's, you know, 2 feet lighter and it actually makes things worse, but it's absolutely perfect.
You're good.
See that weight and then nail the line.
How many ends do they have to play? Because this is huge trouble.
It's supposed to be 5.
Okay.
But
how much is the fine?
They're gonna wish the minimum was 4 potentially after this. So. I think you're right. They're looking at.
That's the only
we
spot
have to
to
just
go.
we have to give them 2.
And they can't go deep here. Like if they leave if this goes to the tee line, there's going to be like a third or quarter rock double for $1 million. Because anything that hits that red one, that yellow just goes straight through the hole. So not only that, I mean he's got about 6 inches to draw to depth-wise, but on the line it has to be pretty near perfect too. So final shot, 4th end for Nicholas Edin, a life on the line here in the game and the event. Needs to be 3rd shot. Or 2nd. This looks heavy.
This needs to curl. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Ooh, this could be lights out.
I don't see...
Nose for...
25. Nose for 5.
I think so.
Might only be 4.
Might only be 4, but...
They might play it soft just to save the 5th one. Just because they can.
Board? Board on the nose just because they can.
Easy peel, or do you want?
Drill it on the nose.
I think it'll go for fun.
It's triple bogey time.
Even just an inch high.
Yeah.
That's not, that needed to curl quite a bit. That's
Easy peel right in the nose.
the ice has been fooling them a bit, and I don't know if they've moved rocks around or not, but they have not matched the lines with the speed the way that Team Mouat has, and the scoreboard kind of shows it, obviously. But a chance for 4 for sure. Hit and stay with the shooter anywhere on the broom side, and going to be at least 4. It's just a matter if that middle red one squirts out of the rings.
Depends how hard he throws it.
I don't think it's going to kill at either of the back ones. So here we go. Final stone, 4th end.
Go. Clean. Yep. Straight. Yep. Gotta go. Hard, homie. Hard.
I feel like most of the shots they would make with no sweeping. That's 4 big red ones, an 8-2 lead at the break here for Team Mouat, and tough first half for Team Edin. We're going to take a short break here. We'll come back for 5th end action, which I'm going to wager might be the last end of this game, Mike.
I got to curl with some of my closest friends growing up, so it really helped me keep in the game, and we all had the same goals.
I know what curling has done for our family, the opportunities it provided for both my girls. Nationally, you know, we've got to see travel the world. It's just a great sport. It's a small community. People, you know, at all levels, everybody knows each other. That's what, it's kind of a unique sport that way.
It's a sport that enables him to build his confidence and to make friends while doing something that he really enjoys.
right now at the age that they're at, it's just awesome to see when they come here and they see their friends at the curling club and the stuff they do off the ice too, and smiles and hanging out and just enjoying their time with friends.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Good afternoon from beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland. We are live from the KIOTI National, the third leg of the Grand Slam of Curling. We're getting closer to the playoffs here. I'm joined by Mike McEwen today, one of the playoff teams on the weekend. Still have one more game tonight, Mike, but 3-0 start. Got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. We'll actually be beside Team Gushu playing in a big game against Hosley. Both teams needing to win. So that's a whole nother complication. You don't know when the roar is necessarily coming. It might actually be easier to play Brad in this, but you know, as far as a communication standpoint is concerned, it's actually easier when you're against Brad than being beside. It's you can get caught off guard when a big shot is made.
Right at the wrong time when you're trying to, make a precise tap or draw and you're trying to communicate with the sweepers, this place erupts. And so yeah, you got to be ready for that, but we will bring you that game tonight, actually. I will be on the mic.
Right on top.
Calling Mike versus
the
Swiss team. So look forward to that one, and I will be here again at 4 o'clock local time, so I think that's 2:30 Eastern. Yeah, that makes sense. For the next draw, I think we'll have a ladies game for you. Yep. Our feature game right now is Team Mouat. Now, Mike, we always talk about when you have the hammer, when you don't have the hammer, you force, and then you take 2, and then you force, and then you take 2. So if you start without the hammer and you force, take 4, force, take 4, that's got to be better than taking 2.
Thanks, Bruce.
That's doubling up the plan. And look at this, did he?
Not in the corner. Oh, Hammy Jr., that's dirty pool.
Can you shake?
Broom raise from Hammy, too. Nick didn't even want to sweep it. I think Nick might be done here.
If he does that again, I think it's a turnaround and shake.
That's pretty good.
You got to put this on the center line so he can't do that again?
I don't know. I think this one's all kind of going through the motions here in the 5th at this point. Hammy draws the button perfectly first and then makes the perfect corner guard chip into the back corner.
Honestly, we could see a turnaround like first ever. Double corner guard chip, shake. It's possible. It's possible.
We're doing it again. Chipping it and rolling the shooter in this time.
Oh, we're going the other way.
Oh, wait, do you want to go? Yeah. I don't mind.
Might as well try and take it wide. You can take out your own red, right, Mike? So if he chips this into the red and kills it, that doesn't matter as long as the yellow stays. I'm surprised they're not playing it with peel and just jamming it over there perfectly.
He's trying to slice this right to the bumper.
Yep.
Just a few inches from the bumper.
Probably a barrier weight, something like that, board weight. Barrier, I think, is harder than board, isn't it?
All right.
No, that's not close.
I get through.
Just passed, and now Nicholas will come around. Another corner or come around?
Looks like another corner.
Yeah, I don't think it matters all that much. Updates from the other sheets. Team Black needing a win here to go to 2-2 and have a chance at the playoffs, having won the Tier 2 to get in here. And they're up 7-4. Cracking another deuce in the fourth and up 3 on the Team Constantini, who they are 0-3 and out, not having their best week. But the other ladies game, Team Carey, after a fantastic shot from Skip Chelsea Carey in the third end to get a single, they steal 1 and 4, so they're up 3-1 on Team Ha playing the fifth. Ha with the hammer. In the Sportsnet feature game, got Team Jacobs up 5-1 on Team Returnaz. Team Returnaz is 2-1, but has a fantastic shootout according to Coach Ryan Fry, and they had the hammer in the first end here, so their shootout probably got better. So they're in a good spot, but you don't always get straight in. When you're 2-2, it depends. If there's 3 spots and 6 teams, Mike, it doesn't matter how good your shootout is, because that means 3 tiebreaker games if there's room.
That's right.
Because there's 2 sheets saved for the ladies and there's 2 sheets saved for the men's. If, say, the ladies only needed 1, they would play all 3 of those games. But
which we actually saw a situation happen last slam in Nisku where the men's was only down to one tiebreak sheet and the ladies,
right?
Otherwise, we were eliminating teams on the ladies' side. They did get to have their 6 teams play off for 3 spots.
I think this time it's more likely that the mess is on the men's side. The ladies already have 5 teams in. Holman, Enerson, Kim, Fujisawa, and Hasselberg. Hasselberg already at 4-0. Those other 4 teams are at 3-1 or better. 3-0 or better, sorry, or 3-0 or 3-1. I'll get it eventually. 4 teams are out, so that means 8 teams, no, 7. How does the math work? 9 teams, 7 teams still alive.
Hard! Whoa! Hard! Yep.
And then on the men's side, we've only got 4 teams in. The Americans, Johnny Schuster celebrating Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving in style, beating Matt Dunstone today. And they're finishing at 3-1. Jacobs 3-0. Team McEwen, Mike, you're 3-0, and then Team White 3-0. So only 4 teams on the men's side in and 4 teams out. Ramsfell, Schwaller, Crake, and Dunstone they're on George Street.
I think we're about to add a 5th men's team in, are we not?
Looks like Bruce might win this one and might knock out Nick. So let's go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to write it even in pen. So that's 5 out, 5 in.
So 3 spots remaining.
We can stroke those off, and you've got Returnaz is going to. I can't give that win to Jacobs yet, but it's looking promising that Returnaz will go to 2-2. Gushu plays Hostley later.
Clean. Okay. Clean.
There are 7,000 people here coming tonight that are demanding a Gushu win. Because, and let's be honest, we need him in the playoffs here. But I don't know what their shootout is like, but they play Hostley. Hostley's 1-2. Reed plays Mike. Can Reed beat you?
Anything's possible.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, he's going to play hard. Former teammate
sure
battle. It's going to be a good one tonight.
And he's 1-2, so it's a big game for Reed and the fellas. Yeah. And then Bruner and Muskatovich are 1-2, so one of them is going to be in, one of them is going to be out. So
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game tonight.
It'll be fun to watch for sure.
Obviously, good friends, teammate, Caitlin Schneider with Flash and the Boy. There's all sorts of dynamics.
I will tell all the true stories tonight when Mike's not here. I'll tell you how they actually secretly hate each other, all of them.
And you're saying Team Germany's still alive, right?
Yeah, Bruner and Muskatovich are 1-2, so one of them's going to be in, one of them's going to be out. So if it all went to craziness, that would mean 6 teams would be out.
Like it? 12-5.
And that would leave. Math's hard for me today. 10 teams.
Even if we do
3 spots for.
Would leave 10 teams for 8 spots for sure. 5 are already in. If everything went against you tonight, that would be.
Does that look?
Yeah, there'd be 5 teams for 3 spots.
I like an inch more. Let's give that a chance.
So one team would get directly in, and there'd be 2 tiebreaker games. So that there'd be room for that. So I don't think.
I'm not going to question you on that math.
Yeah, I've got every math question wrong this morning. I can't even figure out what's 16 minus 8. Tough day. Still have not been on George Street other than for dinner. So it's not that.
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
What's going on in the game?
Whoa.
Team Mouat's just making everything again?
Yep.
Pretty much. Playing a little downweight chase around the corner guard. Lie 2.
Don't count.
These guys are great sweepers, but I do feel like they would have made almost every shot today with you know, Isabella and Skyla sweeping.
Yeah, clean.
Bella's pretty good though. She carves.
She can put a good clean on.
She carves. Doesn't know why her 12-year-old teammates don't carve when it needs to curl.
Ah. She's yelling the commands and getting curious looks.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you mean.
Watch more Grand Slam of curling.
Yeah, didn't you, go to the last 100 events? So Nicholas with his second last shot of the game here by the looks of it. Not sure what he's doing. Is he just hit and roll behind the corner maybe? Straight draw around the corner
looks
maybe?
Looks like draw ice. Draw kick.
Get one buried here for second shot by the looks of it. And
Bra linje. Topp 4.
if you're in St. John's and coming to the game this afternoon and tonight, we do have the après curl, which I heard was rocking again last night. It is open between draws because we know that Newfoundlanders are a social bunch. For the first time, it's open even during the day, I believe. That's got to be a good business model, right? This has got to bring a lot of money to the community. Host committee's got to be doing well.
That's a good sign, opening early.
Curling group is super excited and super happy with all the content, and players are having, I heard Matt Dunstone say, and I know he's 1-3 now, so maybe he wants to change his vote, but he said by Wednesday it was the best slam he'd ever been to, and I think he's been coming for 10 years, so.
2 days in.
Right? It's just, it is that good.
And as one of the teams in the field, just feeling really part of helping with the content and the creation. It's been super fun to almost be allowed to be part of the creativity, which is a great feeling as one of the teams in the field.
On the straight guard, I think Nick did get second shot.
No, don't crawl. Great shot.
So we were going to try and guard it.
That's a bit of a panic.
Pretty much where you'd put it. I think Nick's probably going to have to play the angle slash for 2.
Is he second shot? I think the way they're motioning, he's not.
Must not be.
Which even makes more sense why Bruce played the guard.
Yeah.
I know. I like 60.
I mean, Nick's played a lot of tough shots this afternoon. This is
up there. Run it into just barely hit that center one on the button, and it should come straight back into that other red one.
Run it into a 32nd, 16th.
Sure. Something pretty thin. Final stone, fifth end, throwing it plenty hard.
This is a make or shake.
Might be a make and shake, and it's not. No bueno. 4 points for Mouat, and that's a big win for them. They're playoff bound, and unfortunately for Team Edin, they are out. On behalf of Mike McEwen and Brent Lang, thanks for tuning in today. We will see you back here 2:30 Eastern, 4 o'clock Newfoundland and Labrador time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Team Gushu will be doing an autograph signing in the Rock Shop at 2 o'clock. So if you want to head up there, get something signed with your favorite player on Team Gushu, you can do that in the Rock Shop located on level 1. Also, immediately following this draw, Team Schuster will be joining us for Rock Talk and at Break Curl. We'll ask them some questions and give the fans a chance to ask their questions to Team Schuster. That's at 2:30 or immediately following this draw.
It has happened where people just haven't noticed and they've run out of time. Sounds good. Oh, overcooked it a bit. Jeez.
Clean! Keep going, Edin! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going!
Minus 1,000 flash will win Apparet Curl.
Oh, they're really sweeping this, boys.
They're